This was preventable. 19 kids dead because they were shot with an AR-15 and you can't even recognize the kids. Their little bodies are destroyed because of this war weapon that was used. So we don't need neither your thoughts and prayers or your hearts. Keep your hearts. What we need is our kids. February 14th, I took my son and best friend, Joaquin, to school. That was Valentine's Day, so he was holding some flowers that we bought the night before together. And then we got to the school, he gave me a kiss and a little hug, said, "I love you, Dad." And I said, "I love you. You take care and call me later." And that was it. That was the last time that I saw my son alive. I saw him again, dead, 2 days later. 17 people died. 14 of them were kids. No father is expecting to hear that ever. You go crazy. You don't even know if it makes sense to keep on living. I mean, my whole point in life was to raise Joaquin and have grandkids at some point, and he will bring me to the games when I grow older. I'm not a happy person. I have very short happy moments, but I'm not a happy person that I used to be. I don't enjoy company. I'm obsessed with our movement and how to protect other people. That includes also moments of breakdowns and crying and missing my son and remembering him every time. If I see a kid playing with his dad, when you go through this, you miss not only your kid and all the memories, but you also miss who your kid will become. My 40-year-old son, grown-up man, with his wife or husband or whatever the fuck he wanted, and my grandkids. It's sad to go to the past. It's sad to envision the future. So you have to stay in this safe zone, which is right now this conversation.
There are 19 sets of parents who are never going to get to kiss their child goodnight again.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
You know, it's easy to go to politics.
What is it bothering you? The timing? Are you concerned because 19 kids are dead and I'm talking about political and guns? All right, let's go back to Buffalo. Or is that still too early? You know what? Let's go back to Parkland 4 years ago. Can we talk about politics now? It shows me zero interest to solve the problem or complicity with what happened. We should all agree that what happened in Texas is unacceptable. That should be a before and after for a whole nation to do something right now. Related to guns, not related to, oh my God, we need higher fences in schools.
All right, boys and girls, we've blocked the door. Now you should have something in your hands to defend you.
Or we need more officers in schools. Let me tell you, no other country has one officer in a school. And I come from Venezuela, okay? Which is a third world country with a lot of shit going on. I never saw an officer in my school. I know that in America, little more than 100 people will die every day because of gun violence. I know there's a lot of mass shootings that are not even part of the news. I feel very frustrated that after 5 years, nothing has happened. Things got a little worse, actually, in some states. I'm very mad. The aggressions that I see are like the top of the line of being aggressive. So you cannot respond to something like this in a polite way. We tried that already and it's not working. So you have to do the old school activism.
And now to the nation's capital, where the father of one of the Parkland victims climbed a construction crane near the White House this morning to demand action on gun control legislation.
The only reason that crane is there is for me to climb it, actually. I don't know what's the other use of that thing. I endorsed President Biden a little more than a year ago, and he promised me a few things related to gun violence. We shared the fact that we lost loved ones, and so we had a conversation about things to do more than a year ago. If you promise me that you will fix this, and you are the president of the United States, you should accomplish your promises. If not, I gotta hold you accountable. So I decided to go back to Washington on February and climb that crane and drop a image of my son Joaquin with what we call the shock market, which is a platform that indicates every single case of gun violence in America. The result of that was that I was received at the White House by President Biden. And I told him, I'm going to keep on holding you accountable. I'm going to keep on doing what I do. And you should start doing what you told me you were going to do. What I'm telling you is a month ago. So this was preventable. 19 kids dead because they were shot with an AR-15 and you can't even recognize the kids. Their little bodies are destroyed because of this war weapon that was used. So be offended, scream it out. Don't take this as an option. My son was shot inside a school 4 times with an AR-15 inside his school. So we have to unlearn the fact that a gun and freedom are not two things that go together. Eventually, the same way that these young Americans are fighting and asking for a better planet, for civil rights, for inclusion, they are also expecting guns not to be the center of their future. I think we're going to reach a point where the NRA is going to be totally irrelevant because of these kids.
6 minutes and 20 seconds with an AR-15, and my friend Carmen would never complain to me about piano practice. Aaron Feist would never call Kira Miss Sunshine. Alex Schachter would never walk into school with his brother Ryan. Scott Beagle would never joke around with Cameron at camp. Helen Ramsey would never hang out after school with Max. Gina Montalto would never wave to her friend Liam at lunch. Joaquin Oliver would never play basketball with Sam or Dylan. Elena Petty would never, Kara Lugren would never, Chris Hickson would never, Luke Hoyer would never, Marquine Duque Aguiano would never, Peter Wang would never, Alyssa Al-Hadaf would never, Jamie Guttenberg would never, Meadow Pollock would never.
One day, Joaquin asked me, Dad, how do you want to be remembered? I don't know. I never thought about how I want to be remembered. I guess I want to be remembered as an artist, or I had no chance to be remembered as an artist, by the way. I just, talking with my son. But then I asked him back, how do you want to be remembered? And he told me, I want to be remembered big, like Mandela, like Muhammad Ali. So I need to do that. I need to put all my efforts in helping my son accomplish his goal. I know that Joaquin was very into helping people. He was a very protective person. And you know what? It gives me the pleasure of continuing my parenting in a different way, but I'm Joaquin's dad. Fuck it, I'm Joaquin's dad. Don't tell me the opposite because it's not true.
2 years ago, our beautiful son Joaquin was shot and killed at Parkland. Every day I think about him and what his last moments must have been like. It's very hard for me to look at this. So please listen to what our son has to say.
I've been gone for 2 years and nothing's changed, bro. People are still getting killed by guns. What is that? Everyone knows it, but they don't do anything. I'm tired of waiting for someone to fix it. Vote for politicians who care more about people's lives than the gun lobby's money. Vote for people not getting shot, bro. I mean, vote for me, because I can't. We've got to keep on fighting, and we got to end this.
Change of Rev is a non-profit created after Joaquin Oliver was shot in the Parkland shooting. Joaquin loved basketball, and he always thought that he needed a fair game. Change of Rev refers to the referees in Washington. Change of Rev will keep on fighting gun violence in America. Any help is welcome. Make a small donation, but most of all, your support and your word and your not accepting this reality is the most valuable donation that you can make.